wide open shot, the dagger to put it out of reach. But just this team's really learning how to win games late. Something that they really struggled with the last couple of years. They're really growing up in front of our eyes.
Well, I see the youth in San Antonio, especially on some misplays like that. I want to try to put that on, DeRozan, and also put that on Patty Mills, but that was a situation where you just did not want Luka to try to win a game again, so they tried to go double, and leaving Jalen Brunson, a two-time NCAA champion, is going to knock that shot down, especially when you have that much time in front of the Spurs bench.
Jalen was so good in so many ways, but for Luka, Devin, Luka was freed tonight, right? After a couple of games of dealing with some tricky defensive schemes against him, he was free to play out there.
He was. I mean, no junk defenses tonight. San Antonio is a system team. We all know the system very well. Defensively, it hasn't changed much. He was able to really control the game in every aspect of the way, whether it was scoring, his three-point shot, his step backs. He pretty much got whatever he wanted all night long.
And Popovich is a guy who teaches one-on-one defense. Guard your man unless you're tremendously, Patty Mills guarding Porzingis. That's when you come and help. But other than that, your job is to try to stop this guy. He's very talented, very skilled, and he helps an opportunity for others, obviously, when he has the basketball, Dana.
We saw the mix of everything from him tonight. He had lots of room to work. Pop also said before that he's the quintessential basketball player. He has really stepped up to these big games against San Antonio, and he seems to always impress Pop, which must be really hard to do. But he's basically averaging a 30-point triple-double against them now.
I mean, he does it in so many different ways, and he takes what the defense gives him. Last couple games, there's been a lot of double teams, a lot of junk defenses. I'm not going to score tonight. I'm going to get involved with my teammates. Tonight, it was like I see one-on-one defense, a lot of switching, a lot of going against bigs. I'm going to dominate the game in every aspect.
And also the way the game is played against San Antonio, which really makes them have a lot of statistics, because usually, like you said, it started off early. They had a good run, had a little lead there, double digits, but then got into a position where Popovich started to switch some things around and then put themselves in a position to come back. And that's when Luka had to come off the bench and do some dramatic things. Jalen Brunson held his own when he was in there, but Luka Doncic just kind of finished it, put the icing on the cake.
Luka, as we've talked about, his big 36-point night. You also had 21 apiece from KP and Tim Hardaway Jr. Those were crucial. I mean, when you have those three scoring like that, and you love the way the offense just looked, like it was so smooth tonight.
Well, this is a three-guy kind of superstar league now. And in order to have that, you have to continuously stay on a pace where everybody touches the basketball and gets opportunities. Now, we have people that can do that here, Tim Hardaway, KP, and Luka. Now we have to do that on a consistent basis. But I think the biggest thing is not really the three that we have, but it was the others that came through. The Jalen Brunsons came in and came up. You got Burke being more consistent. These things need to continue to happen to make more success later on in the playoffs.
I love what they're doing as far as driving the basketball,
yes.
Really living in the paint, and their threes are coming off of that. I think that's the change we've seen in the last couple of games. They've really been shooting the three better, but I think it's coming off penetration and really not settling for the jump shot.
50 points in the paint for the Mavericks tonight. Second straight big game in that area, and the three ball also falling tonight. They had 14 threes in this game and get a win in San Antonio. Let's check in with the head coach now. Here's Rick Carlisle.
Tonight's defensive player of the game is Wes Iwundu. You can catch that on social media, courtesy of Jonathan Lynn, and he was very deserving. He did a great job just holding his ground on DeRozan. He chased Mills around, and he made some plays off the ball and some loose ball plays, which were really important. So very happy for him. I thought we played very well offensively just about the whole night. These games get tight down the stretch. Our guys showed great poise in the last 4 minutes, continuing to execute, getting the ball in the basket. KP's clutch free throws and KP and Iwundu's clutch free throws were obviously very huge, and that's a big division game for us.
Brad?
Yeah, Rick, obviously there were some close moments down the last few minutes, but I'm wondering if you see a different sort of body language or feeling among your team late in games this year, because the results have been pretty good.
Yeah, look, we've gotten a year older, a year wiser. We spent more time working on crunch time situations, talking about it, understanding that it's a big part of where we want to go as a team. We need to execute and keep our poise. But the biggest thing was we really just kept our cool. And, Luka kept guys together in the huddles. And we found a way to execute, get enough stops to get it done. And the big free throws at the end were huge.
Kevin?
Hey, good evening, Coach. That 3:37 stretch there without a bucket, they got it down to one. Walk us through that 5-point stretch where Luka hits the 11-foot shot there and then hits Brunson for the three-pointer there in that sequence to push the lead back out.
Yeah, they were creating some confusion with switching and stuff like that. We finally went to a spaced out alignment, let Luka drive line his guy up, get by him, because we had all shooters out there. And Brunson hit a big shot, and then the little bank shot that Luka hit obviously was a huge one as well. So, but again, the thing I loved tonight was positive body language throughout the game. NBA games aren't perfect. There are thousands of events that go on in NBA games. There are officials' calls that you don't agree with. There are physical plays. There are missed shots and turnovers and other adversities. And guys did a real good job of just sticking together and sticking to it.
Eddie?
Rick, the play where Luka found Jalen in the corner there, obviously Luka made the right basketball play, and then Jalen makes the shot. What does that kind of play do for a team's belief in each other, chemistry, trust factor, whatever you want to call it?
Well, it's clear that Luka has great trust in his teammates. The Denver game was another very close game. Milwaukee game was very close. In those situations, he made the right basketball play, got the ball to his teammates, and his teammates were, stepping into shots with force and confidence. And, in those situations, you're not going to make every single shot, but it's a process thing. And the belief in each other and the trust that you have in each other on the floor is the glue that makes, teams that are developing teams good and good teams, contending teams. And so, we got to keep fostering more of that. But that was a play, that's a keeper.
Last one, Tim McMahon.
Hey, Rick. How do you feel about Porzingis' post-up game, utilizing that at this point? And what are the situations where you would look or where you are looking to go to him on the block?
Yeah, Luka called those post-up plays in the flow of the game, felt that he needed a touch against a smaller guy. KP made some very good decisions, got a bucket or two. And so, look, in the flow of the game, when it's our leader out there making the call, I'm good with it. On a steady, regular basis, it's a tough play. It's become a play that generally has become an unproductive play in the league. But tonight, I thought we got good mileage out of it.
All right, thanks.
Let's stay right with that one. The fact that Luka's calling those plays for KP out there. Devin, what's that situation like? And it worked out tonight.
As a point guard, sometimes they need to touch the ball. They may go a few trips down the court where they just, they need rhythm, and, with the switch, you always can find a switch and kind of manipulate the game the way you want it to. So sometimes when KP needs just a touch to kind of get a shot up and kind of feel included in the game, Luka can make that call, and that's the trust that he's showing in a guy like KP.
And then you got to remember, in New York City, the offense ran through this man. So he's got to have some sort of ego problems going, hey, I can do this thing too. And I know Luka's always a person to always distribute. His first initial to step on a basketball court is to give the ball to others. And in any situation here, nobody's taller, longer, or has a better touch than that young man right there, lifting up off the ground, dunking the basketball.
And it was a totally different kind of game for KP tonight than it was against the Pacers.
Every game's going to be different. Every matchup is going to be different. He's just looking to take advantage of the defense and what's given to him. He was very efficient tonight, didn't really force anything, and just took advantage of what was out there.
And it wasn't a defensive struggle, but the Spurs played better defense than the Pacers. Yeah.
True.
Just my opinion.
And you might have thought KP might have had the belt tonight, but no.
You called it. You called it.
You called
it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll get some video of him holding
You should play did you play the lottery tonight?
I'm gonna. I am now, that's for sure. More coming up after a Mavericks victory in San Antonio. We'll have reaction from the players right after this.
So you're saying she's lucky guess? Like a lot of, I don't understand how you, she has knowledge. She has knowledge. Dana has knowledge.